Welcome everybody to Command Combat Battle Reports, where Troy is giggling like a little girl. I have with me Troy, of course, and Cliff, our resident historian.
How you doing?
And what we got here...
That plane.
Oh, sorry?
I had the same, that particular plane, that P-51 over there.
Oh, okay. We're talking about we have some of the stuff in the room here. All right. So,
I had that exact same Diet Mountain Dew can.
And did you have that giraffe, the one that's trampling through the room a bunch right now?
And I have a very similar looking bald spot.
Well, the one in the back of my head. Don't look at that. All right, so we got here the Gwined versus Northymber. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, so that's the ancient way of putting it. Northymber.
So yeah, tell us about this. Who are these Northymber and
Well,
Gwined?
these guys are, the Gwynedd is a principality in what is now Wales, and Northymber would be today Northumberland.
Okay, and it looks like their infantry here, their forces here. You got a lot of axemen on the side of Gwynedd, and then you got some archers as well, some spearmen. And a lot of
trebuchets look like.
Yep. Trebuchets or catapult. I'm not quite sure which. Well, let's see. What does it say on the? Oh, it says catapult on this thing. Going to be levy artillery, and on this side you got the elite sword infantry, and then just like scattered. Look at this. It's like some spearmen. Then you got some one swords guy, and then axes. This is basically going to be a siege battle where and so basically they would probably be the ones with the instead of catapult,
trebuchet.
Trebuchet. Firing from inside.
Whoa, how did you pronounce that?
Trebuchet.
God damn, all these years I thought they were called trebuchets.
Well, that's the ones you had. That's the ones we gave you because, didn't you notice how they always broke every time you tried to fire them?
I thought it was because of the special ingredient I put in the ammo.
Yeah, that hurried the process.
That forced a lot of people outside their stronghold.
Yeah.
Cat crap will do that.
Yeah.
So, how is this in terms of the types of forces they would have?
If it's the guys inside, look, if Northymber is the guys inside, so they would have a lot more mix of troops. These guys, Gwynedd, are the guys who are going to, if they're the ones trying to take the castle, they're with a heavy spearmen and axemen. They're probably going to be the ones on the outside coming in. They've got more catapults. This guy's got one, so he's probably inside and he's got walls. He doesn't need a lot.
We don't need more walls, Les.
And you can see on here as we go through them, we got the, this is the Royal Tialu, excellent attack against cavalry, excellent spotting, has the missile weapon. This is the Welsh Axemen. They have poor armor, but good at spotting and armor piercing. Oh yeah, because his axe is great at that sort of thing. Average missile block chance for some of the other Axemen. Bowmen, of course, bad armor. And then you got, that's cavalry spearmen. Bad armor, but good at spotting and has they missile weapon because they can throw the spear. So we'll see how they go. And then like I say, there's a whole mixture on here. That'd take us a while to go through them, but you get the idea.
Okay, before you you just clicked. Okay.
What were they supposed to?
Well, now you fucked it all up.
I did. The whole thing's screwed up. Let's just start over. Was there anything you were going to say?
I was just going to say, quick odds on who's going to win.
That's a good question. Unfortunately, I've seen this battle, so a little spoiler alert.
Well, so not you, then between myself and Cliff.
Yeah, and this is the setup, so you can see how Gwynedd is on the outside. This is all of their stuff. Actually, here, I'll do a nice little pan. Ooh,
so which one did you play, Jeff?
You're going to bet against that one? I'm going to let you guys guess.
That is a possibility.
The siege guy, the guys inside the city.
Oh, you're going to bet on them?
No, Jeff is always going to. Jeff played the attackers.
Yeah. So you're going to bet for the guys inside?
Yeah.
If they're smart, they have a chance of taking these guys.
Well, you can see they have on the front wall, they have the levy bow infantry. So all the levy bow
Did you just say if they're smart, they have a chance?
Yeah.
That's pretty much every freaking battle.
I don't know. Sometimes the smart people are the ones who run, who don't fight at all.
The worst thing they could do in reality is be on those walls. That is the worst place to
Well,
be.
that's why they put the levee
Wait,
up
wait,
there.
wait, wait. Where's John?
John? I'm sure he's way back
Where's
there.
Snow?
Oh, Jon Snow.
Jon
He's
Snow.
the one pouting. Like
Yeah.
way back there somewhere.
Jon Snow is the worst soldier I've ever seen in my life.
He shouts at dragons. Don't you know that shouting works? So they have, looks like they have their trebuchet up here, even though they're calling it catapult right over here, although it doesn't look like it's in
They
place.
got 3.
They got some cavalry there. What is it, retinue?
Mm-hmm. That's the Jarl's.
Oh.
That's the Jarl's guys.
Yeah, what do you know about Jarl's horsemen?
Well, Jarl. Basically, a Jarl is basically what the word Earl comes from, and basically these guys are his personal bodyguard, his chosen men, the ones who would fight with him forever.
Jon Snow's men?
Yeah, those are the guys who stand by you no matter what. And they usually are the nobles. And
a fraternity.
yeah,
Yep.
basically.
Well, until there are chicks.
And they're the ones. Or they've got heavy armor, a lance that can be used as a spear and thrown as a spear, but it's basically a lance, and they can ride down on top of whatever infantry you've got, and if the infantry's not well trained, and they'll break through. But they're the Jarl's bodyguard. Now, the reason I said that the worst thing these guys could be doing is standing on those walls shooting at these things.
Uh-huh.
What you want to do in reality is let these guys bust through a spot.
Okay.
And then wherever make it narrow, so wherever they come through, they're going to rush to that one part, and you can cut them to pieces in one spot. But you're on that wall, you're dissipating all your fire, and unless you can knock out those, if you can knock out their trebuchets or their catapults, you're wasting your time. But you want them to come in one spot, that somewhere you can control. If you control where they're coming in, you can do them a terrible amount of damage.
Well, now you do have the doorway here, and I did notice that they have, here we go. These battering rams, 3 of them.
Yeah.
So they're probably going to have to go in that front.
They're going to go through. They're going to try to go through the front door, and they're going to, through the front gate, and that's where a lot of fighting is going to be, trying to get through that gate. But in reality, see where these guys got this stand right here?
Uh-huh.
Go back up there.
Up here?
No, right here above this gate.
Yeah.
Okay. You line up all your troops, your arrow, your archers, spearmen, all these guys right along there. Let these guys come in there. You'll pile up so many dead bodies that they can't get through there anymore.
It does look like they actually have some of their infantry and cavalry right here, about pretty much ready for when
Cavalry's
they come
the
through.
worst thing you can put there. You need infantry. Spearmen. Lots of spearmen.
Lancemen.
Yeah.
All right.
Because the guys have to come up a ramp.
Mm-hmm.
If you get long spears, you got the leverage,
Mm-hmm.
and they can't get to you without like creating a pile of dead bodies.
And then you got people. You put archers down along that U right there.
Uh-huh.
You're just creating a pure killing zone.
Okay.
and then if you got cauldrons of boiling oil
Yeah.
that you can line the sides of that,
Yeah.
heck, create a huge what do I want to call even at the top of the ramp, just pour that stuff down.
And what they should do is dig that hole, that area there, so make that ramp steeper. Where since they're coming up, they have to fight their way up and make it harder, and or hell, block it off right there.
Yeah, put something to block it so they can't get through or
Yeah.
whatever.
And and just pour fire into it.
Or take a page from the Viet Cong and create or Indiana Jones and just have
Bungee sticks.
bungee sticks, just fook.
Or it's something even more simple. Make a caltrop, this piece of bent steel.
Yep.
Just drop it out there in front of them, and you get horses and people.
You know what I think they should be putting there?
So the game's over.
It's game's over. They can't go through. If
We
they only
already
had you guys.
diagnosed it.
I think they should put a Walmart greeter in there. Some old guy just right up here going, "Welcome to our town."
Okay, now you move. That moves towards a war crime.
Yeah, exactly.
The Walmart greeter, that's just a war crime.
So all the silliness aside, my next question though is, how many dragons did each side have?
No, 0, unfortunately. Now I do notice they do have some spearmen here, but they're facing the wrong way. They do have these guys here, but they do have like this whole crowd here. So if they're thinking they're going to bring the crowd over here, but it seems like they have a large number of them.
Isn't that just like the Welsh?
Yeah, exactly. The Welsh are just sitting back there. Send your hate mail to
No, the Welsh are on the outside.
Oh, that's right. The Welsh are these guys. So the Welsh were the smart ones. It was the
and they've got longbowmen up there, and so they're going to pick those guys off on that wall.
Yeah, you can see these are all longbowmen already. In fact, they have some of their armor, and
Is that some kind of euphemism?
including their nose guards. So yeah, they're already there, and behind them are the catapults and some nice flowery fields. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, and there's a guy.
How many cows an hour can the catapults
They've got poppies.
launch?
Yes, exactly. And then over here you have these big towers. It looks like they're going to be set up to go after that area, and they have their infantry behind. And then you have these towers over here, so they're ready to go in. So it looks like the Welsh are really ready to go in there. They do have cavalry behind them, which aren't going to be super useful
They
here.
are really, really tipped up at the guys in Northumbria, apparently.
Apparently.
What did they do? I know.
What'd they do?
Did you hear
Debt
about
collection.
Debt collection?
Debt collection?
Oh, yeah.
Did you hear Arthur? Arthur picked up some of those new fancy catapults that can launch 5 cows an hour.
5 cows in an hour?
5 cows an
How
hour.
do they catch them?
Apparently, they have this thing called a cow cartridge,
Well, let's watch the cow cartridges go here.
and they stack the cows one on each. Get out of here!
And
Well, you know, I went to school with Arthur. He was always a bit of a show-off.
well, and they started to milk them just before. So, oh, in fact, you can see. Oh, that's a bird.
He
Okay.
never once had dysteria and had the nerve to rub it in our face.
Ooh.
Tower's coming up. Tower's coming up.
Yeah, and stars come up, and you can see their catapults are firing into there. You can see the big stones. Let's follow them stones.
By the cow's red glare,
Ooh,
Tower.
took
Take
down
down
a tower.
they
Yeah.
cruise through the night.
Now, how long before they take out the
Catapults. They're going after the catapults.
Oh yeah, but and then the next they're going to go after their airports.
Mm-hmm. Go up.
The cattle bolts?
Their catapults.
Oh my
Ooh.
goodness.
Oh my! Oh my!
Yeah, well, they got their shields up. That'll protect them.
What did they tell you?
Oh.
Right.
Worst place to be on the wall.
Who did I bet? Who did I bet on?
The people behind the walls.
God damn it, Butters!
Butters. Oh, that guy got.
Why would they put their catapults that far forward?
Yeah, they should have.
Why?
Why?
And why have you got
I got one
cavalry?
guy sneaking like, okay, if I stay low.
That's right. He's like, okay, yeah, just nobody's gonna see me. Nobody's gonna know I'm here. Woo! He's like,
Okay,
think invisible thoughts.
now,
All right.
the one thing
Come
that's
on, Orson.
completely useless is the fire arrows.
yeah.
Completely useless.
Oh, because I think if they hit these things, they're gonna catch these buildings on
Yeah.
fire.
Yeah, but these is a fire arrow flying through the air. What puts out fire? Wind.
Yeah.
No. I think, with all due respect, Mr. Military Historian, those were tracer arrows.
Oh, yeah, that's right. The real arrows are behind them.
Oh.
You know, every 5th arrow fired was a tracer arrow,
Oh.
so that the archers could get a bearing on where their arrows were going.
By the way, I like this bumper towers.
Mhm.
It's like bumper boats or bumper cars, but it's the guy can't even get past.
Beep, beep.
Get out of my way!
And instead of a horde, basically it's just like several squires
look at these
all
guys.
going big, big.
Why do they have cavalry standing here?
Oh, that's right. The cavalry's
It's
kind of
just-
standing there watching.
It's just a waste of. They got cavalry and catapults at the same place. What are these guys, morons?
Yeah, they're like, let's go ahead and move out of here. And these guys are just kind of, they are morons, because look at that. They're all stabbing them on the side, and the other guys are just like, all right, we're waiting for them. They're coming. They'll be coming sometime soon.
Well, let's run away the other way.
Maybe
Run
they'll
the
come
other-
this way. And these guys now.
They'll be coming over the ramparts when they come. They'll be coming over the ramparts when they come.
Woo! Woo! Alright, they're coming out of into the ramparts, like you say, and oh man, I mean, armored guys versus these guys. Oh, there comes the cavalry, charging into them. While meanwhile, they're coming out of those ramparts and out of these towers over here, coming through, and looks like they have gotten through.
Yeah,
here.
They've gotten through there.
Well, I mean, obviously, we can all diagnose what the problem is. They're idiots.
Yeah. These are the dumbest guys I've ever seen.
I see your problem here. You're an idiot. That's what my doctor tells me every time I go to visit. Oh, there's your problem. You're an idiot. Actually, my doctor kind of does talk like that. She's great. She's like from she's Eastern European and just like, you shouldn't be doing this. You should not be doing that. She's great. All right.
She didn't call you Doomcock, did she?
Just about does. She's just like, what have you been doing this for? You shouldn't be doing this. Yes, ma'am.
Jefferson, no, you a Doomcock.
You're a Doomcock. Yep.
Okay, so.
Sorry.
Wow. Talk about.
They do have them buttoned up, like you guys were suggesting, though. They aren't they don't have them in this area, which it would be wise, but they do have them like trapped in that one area.
And they should have archers there shooting down on them.
They should.
Yeah.
They are shooting from this tower, though, to be fair. But and then they have these guys coming. The armored spearmen.
Well, in military terms, this is a classic situation known as a clusterfuck.
Well, no
Is that the official term for it?
Yeah, it's technical term.
Yeah, it could be a modified clusterfuck, but it's really looking more like a George W. Bush clusterfuck.
Oh, there we go. There's the oil going down on them.
Yeah. Why did you wait this long?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if they were before, we just didn't see it, or what. Oh, that was a dog went running by. And the horse is chasing him. It's like, this is the friendship that was always meant to be.
These guys are going, let's get out of here while the getting is good, because these people are idiots.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to run free.
Is that a battle dog?
It's going to be the tale of the dog and the horse, their forever friendship. And then the other horse.
And suddenly we walked into a Disney movie.
Exactly. I'm just going to follow this one now.
Yeah. Fuck the battle. I want to see what happens to this horse and dog.
They're heading up to the green pastures.
I just got the name of this whole movie.
What's that?
Walt Disney presents The Dog and Pony Show.
There it is, the Dog and Pony Show.
Now, we'll start with the animated version like we have here.
Uh-huh.
And then in 30 years, we'll do a live-action version.
But we have to use a black horse.
Yeah, exactly. You got to have the diversity of the horses.
You know, like somebody said, I'm not a bigot, but, Ariel's white. Historically.
Historically.
Are you talking about the casting of The Little Mermaid?
Yeah. Ariel's white, historically.
For once in my life, I was able to sit back and say without any animus whatsoever, I don't give a fuck.
Ariel's white. It's a mermaid, man. They don't exist.
But it was worse than that. It wasn't, bear with me. It was worse than they cast a black actress in a role of a supposedly white character.
Burning houses. Sorry.
The militant redheads were the most pissed off.
By the way, they have now made a breakthrough, and now they're slowly crawling forward on their left
To which
flank.
my response was, "Are you saying a sister can't dye her hair?"
They don't have red hair. They have blacks with red hair.
Exactly.
And the girl does have the black girl does have red hair.
Actually,
does she really?
Yeah.
Real quick, going back to this battle here. Notice this guy on the right. He's looked so depressed. He's just like, I guess I'll go.
But I wanted to be a singer, Dad. didn't want to be in the army. I wanted to sing.
But well, you should have gone with the dog and the pony.
Okay, so at that point in time, you know, it would have been like the movie star type of look. But Dad, I was going to become a Punch and Judy puppeteer.
You know, I like these guys. They literally just stopped and shot that house for no reason. They just shot it, like, that house is ugly. And now they just continue forward. There's like no reason for it.
And they're loping. I like the way they kind of lope.
Yeah.
They're looting.
Yeah, they're looting. They're just knocked down this thing, and now they're taking out a flag. Meanwhile, what's going on over here? Well, not much. They're just they're all fighting in the middle. They pushed through a little bit. Burned down a lot of the village, but you know, and looks like they're kind of slowly pushing through, just pretty much everywhere now that everybody's coming to join the party back here. And you can see the rest of them are retreating back there, so it's just about over.
Yeah, it was over before it started. When you looked at where they had this. Why did they have horsemen right up in the front?
This is one of those cases where there was like years of planning. And we're gonna have a ramp, so they have to come up towards us, and then we'll give us a lever, and we'll have places where our guys can line or shoot up. And what's that? What did you say? What? Oh fuck!
Meanwhile, these guys look pretty happy.
They should.
Shields.
Oh, are some of them barefoot? They are. Get those guys some shoes. Look at that guy.
It was like
it's like kicking into the
that
ground.
was a fortress. It
What
should
the
have
hell?
taken them. Should have taken them like weeks.
There were a couple of them that just fell over dead, though.
Yeah.
They're just so excited. They're overcome with joy that they fainted. Look at that. They just... Oh, there are arrows coming from somewhere.
Yeah, there's still archers in there.
Oh,
There's
man.
still archers in there.
I'm beginning to realize which side you played.
You mean the side that was run over?
Yeah.
No.
I get the feeling that was like a reenactment of your observation while you were playing it. It's like you're scanning your guys and you're like, oh, a couple of them just fell asleep. Oh,
No, that's not sleeping.
wait a minute, what's that sticking out of his chest?
It's like, God dang it! Why are you guys falling over dead? Well, about did it, and who was going to lose? Well, anyway. Well, thank you all for watching. Be sure to subscribe, and you can see the Little Mermaid or not. I don't know. Anyway, we got a fun little tangent there, but hope you enjoy it, and happy gaming, everybody.
The Little Mermaid could have won this battle.